Stan, hello, welcome.
Hello, Laurence.
So I've got a piece of wax under my arm here. I'm not doing a Tyrannosaurus Rex impression.
Pleased to meet you, pleased to meet you.
So your name, sorry, we're going to go through it again because you've got an interesting name. Stan?
Gilliland.
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 Gilliland. So where does that come from?
That's, I think it's a bit Irish or Scottish. I think Gilly is a gamekeeper.
Yeah.
Scottish gamekeeper.
Yeah.
On the land.
Oh, right.
That's,
Do you reckon it might come from that?
Yeah, I'm thinking it might come from that, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
So, where do you come from originally?
Chesley Street, County Durham.
Chesley Street. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so you're up there. Right.
Yeah.
And are you from a mining family?
Yes, yes.
And does that mean it goes back
To
centuries?
no, not. I would say my father, after he come out the Navy after the war, from 50s.
The 50s, right.
50s, he went back into the mining.
Yeah. So was he in the mining before the war?
No. He joined before the war. He didn't go straight into the mines at 18-year-old. He joined the Navy.
Right.
From the village, and he was there through the war. He came back, and after the Second World War, there was the wanted miners.
Yeah.
And he went back into it.
Okay.
And in the mining industry in the northeast, there was hundreds of pits.
Right.
So, you know, and the country at that time was coal orientated. You know.
Yeah.
So.
So he was in what mines was he working?
Right, he worked in a mine, a small mine called the Beamish Mary.
Oh, right. Then
he went to Peltonfell Colliery, and then we up sticks and moved. At that time they were closing the pits in the 60s then.
Right.
In the northeast, in Durham especially.
Yeah. So. Did you all move down as a family through his job?
Yeah. Him
right.
working, yeah.
Was that the same with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, John.
Because his dad didn't know where his house was.
Right.
No, I know his story very well. Yeah, there's a wonderful story about him, the whole family coming down and then not having keys to the house. He didn't know which house was his.
Right, yeah.
So were you in the same kind of
yeah.
diaspora, as it were?
Yeah. Well, John's family came after us, like.
Did you know John and the family before?
No, we sort of met, and we were from basically the same village, about 5 or 6 miles apart, John.
Yeah, if that.
If that, yeah. So that's when we started down at Gilliland, and that was the newest pit at the time. Afterwards, the Selby complex got going then, like so.
Because Soggy was saying that Gilliland had a generation of people down it already, and they said a mine was really came into its own when it had a second generation of miners in it. So when you say it was a new mine, how new was it?
I would say it's 1964. Right. I think 65 they started production. The first coal face started in 65. And that obviously it was advanced mining.
Right. What does that mean?
That means that you're going forward. The modern day mining is retreat.
Okay.
That's driving roadways and coming back with a coal.
Okay, yeah, I never really understood that. So retreat mining is you put a corridor down the side.
2 gates.
Yeah.
Do your face line, set your machines up and come back.
But how do you come back? Into what space do you retreat? Because how do you go back? If you're drilling in the front of you, this is what I never understood. You've got a drill going on the front. How are you going back? How can you go backwards?
Well, you can't.
Exactly.
Can't. Yeah, you can't.
So are you
go forward and what's behind you is gone.
Okay, so you're just turning the machine the other way.
Yeah.
So really, the machine is still advancing, but you're going backwards inside the pit.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I didn't understand
it. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
If you go forward, you've got to support everything behind you.
Yeah.
Right.
When you come backwards, everything just drops and you leave it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
Everything's just done.
very efficient, very efficient.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot quicker.
Yeah, a
Lot
lot
safer.
quicker, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so Kenningley was advanced mining.
At first, yeah. It was about 4 phases, John, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4 advanced phases.
Christ.
And obviously the workforce had up to 2,000 men plus
Wow.
with that system. Anyway, as obviously retreat mining, you're less men.
Yeah.
How many was on a cold
Yeah.
phase and advanced phase, John?
With advanced phases, the further you went in, the more weight would come on the gates. It was difficult to get materials in,
Right.
and we used to have floor below. The floor would come up with the pressure, and the roof would come down. So it was, the further you went, the harder it was to get. But when you do retreat, everything's new. There's no weight.
Right.
You come back and everything, you leave everything behind you.
It gets easier.
Easier, quicker,
Yeah.
safer.
Gosh.
And obviously it lessens the life of your pit.
Yeah.
That, yeah, as technology and different systems, I'll tell you, that it has an end product.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Down the road.
on an advanced phase, there will be 22 men on the unit. When you do a retreat, there will probably be 12.
Gosh. Oh, right. Massive saves then.
Because you left everything behind you.
Mm. So you went down the pit in, how old were you when you went down then?
16. Well, I worked in a pit in the northeast.
Right.
I did my training up in the northeast. That was the Morrison Busty, John. You would know that.
Did me underground training?
I did my training there as well. Like. And then we automatically come down here to start mining down here.
So was your dad working down here as well?
Yes, yes.
So were you working with your dad or?
No.
Would you have liked that?
No.
No?
No, no, that's...
Did he want you to go in the mines?
in the situation we're in, there was nothing else.
No.
That's what it was in the village I came from.
Yeah.
It was just mining.
And even down in Yorkshire, you didn't think, well, going for the move, you could try something else, or?
Well, I don't know. In hindsight, I maybe should have tried something else. But I think it was just education in them days wasn't as good as it is now.
Yeah. So your first job down the pit was
Materials
materials,
and locomotives.
locomotives, right? So
Yeah.
when you say materials, moving the kit,
Moving tackle up into an advanced phase into
Right.
the headings, yeah.
so that was more like
Supplies.
supplies.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gosh. And did you enjoy that?
yeah. Well, it was hard work, but again, it's the camaraderie, and that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah. And so how long were you doing that?
Not long. Not long.
So you were on the so you had an accident.
Yes.
So you lost your leg.
That's left leg, yeah.
What down? And that was down the line.
Yes, yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what happened, or?
It was involved in an automotive accident, which I don't like sort of discussing like.
No. But that was
That's a long time ago, you know.
And that changed your career choices at the
straight
time.
away then. Yeah, then I moved to the surface then to work on forklifts and different things.
Yeah. But you were looked after, I suppose.
In them, yeah, definitely.
So you were out of action for obviously a long time.
12 months.
12 months.
And then I
Christ.
started back in, I worked in the lamp room for a spell, and then
What's the lamp room?
where they go down the mine and they get the lamps, you know, for it. And then went on to forklift driving, etc. and then eventually, as years went by, I finished up in the pithead baths.
All right, what's that mean?
That's the shower area.
Oh yeah.
Maintaining the shower area.
All right.
And basically that's where it ended.
Yeah.
And then the end of the pit come then, and I think privatisation did that. You know, they couldn't compete.
And what period is this? What period? This is Kellingley, and this is when was it privatised?
Right, it was 90. No, when am I saying? 92, John, privatisation?
I think about 92.
92, I think.
And that was what, the National Coal Board selling to a private...
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
Budge.
yes.
Mr. who?
And Budge.
Budge.
Yeah. He had he got the rights to it. He was the favourite with the government.
And Mr. Budge is a private individual. He's not a big company, not a big multinational company. He's a guy that...
he was a company, RJ Budge.
Okay. And was he buying mines everywhere, or was he just...
He bought the lot by a Welsh mine, which that was a workers' buyout.
When you say bought the lot, I mean he bought everything that was being privatised in England. He was buying the lot, or just in Yorkshire?
I forget what was left. After the strike, there weren't many pits.
No.
I think there was about 5 or 6 pits that he got there, you know.
And also he saw money in it, then obviously.
He was very clever. He borrowed the money, and obviously then he paid off all his debts, all the debts off, and then got out.
He got some off the government for buying it.
Yes, he did.
Right.
Yeah, he was well
a
looked
very
after.
clever fella.
Yes, he was, John.
So would you meet him? Is he someone you've ever met?
He once come and did a talk in the canteen.
Well,
Shortly after he took over.
Morale raising.
To tell us that we've got a future. He did paint that, and his statement was, if they couldn't get a coal barge up the canal, imported coal, he says, we're all right. But then the policy was, let's import coal.
And that was the
death
government policy.
Yes,
so
yes.
In a sense, he was, to use a horrible pun, he was sent down the river, really.
Yeah, he was. But he got out, and he got out
So
making profit.
He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah. He had plans at Gilliland to build a power station just at the other side of the canal. Yeah. So we had coal going
straight to it.
Straight to it. Great idea. But
incredible bloke, really. I mean,
he was. I don't know if he's still alive. I know he had some illness or other.
So a bloke like him, his company would have been, would it have been just, he'd obviously had some personnel, but I mean, it's not a big amount of people need to buy a mine.
No.
It's more about your money and...
Well, I don't know if Keith told you about the buyout we were proposing. Did he go through that?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, because he was heavily involved in it.
He was quite emotional about it.
Yes,
it almost sounds like it almost destroyed him, really.
It was, because it was all go, and then they come in with this Thorsby colliery.
Yeah.
That's part of you have to pay so many million for that. You have to take that.
For a loss-making colliery.
Yeah, and that they were never told that, or we were never told that.
Yeah. So there must have been quite a lot of excitement around at the time when you were thinking it was going to come into your own common ownership.
And we got a lot of interest from obviously the workforce.
Yeah.
And the people that were officials there, the mine, because you would need managers and stuff to run it, you know. Yeah. So all that was going ahead, and then they hit them with that bombshell of, oh, what about this? Yeah. We've got to take this on. God.
So back to your youth. So what sort of childhood was it when you had a...
Well, the child up in the northeast was one of basic living, really. We were 7 in a family and lived in a terraced house in the village, like. That was a place called Newfield. And there were 7 of us in there. And there were, well, yeah, we didn't have much money.
Was it a life in the country, in a sense? Was the village
Yes, it
open
was
fields
a bit,
and landscape? Or?
Yes, it was a bit like that. In the village there was the colliery, which life centred around that.
Right.
Yeah,
and how old were you when you left there?
16.
Oh, right, so quite old.
Yeah.
And then your dad and your mum and your
Yes.
all your family, your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And you got a house down in Yorkshire. How big was the house?
It was a 4-bedroom house.
4-bedroom house. So
yeah. My dad was already down in Yorkshire, so we came on the Wallace-Arnold bus.
The Wallace-Arnold bus.
Oh, yeah. And got off at Ferry Bridge. And I wondered, what have we come to?
Really?
What you do, like it's...
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, after being in a small colliery village where everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So how long did it take to kind of get to know people, as it were? Did you go to school? No, you were 16.
I never schooled down here, no.
So you were straight into the... So you...
Secondary modern education.
Secondary modern.
It would have been grammar school education, but there's a story about that.
Yeah.
I actually passed 11 plus, which we did in them days.
Yeah.
We got the 11 plus. And my parents couldn't afford, you had to have uniforms and that. To go to Chester Street Grammar School. And we couldn't do that. So
you couldn't go?
So no, really. So I don't know how it would have gone on if I'd got grammar school education. In them days it seemed to be a better education.
Yeah.
As was the Catholic religion, they had decent education.
Yeah.
But,
so your secondary modern education was mainly the people going there would have ended up in the local mines, or was there?
I think most of them did. All my classmates, they went into mines.
What proportion of them would have ended up down in Yorkshire?
Not many from the village, no, because what happened is the coastal pits were still going in Durham, so a lot transferred over to the coastal pits, which eventually went.
And this is right.
So it might have seen their time out, you know.
So this is down on this is down the other side of Sunderland and
Sunderland,
down to Whitby.
all the east coast, yeah.
So what are those pits called?
Vane Tempest was one.
Vane Tempest?
Named after John, yeah.
Vane Tempest.
Vane Tempest. Monk Wearmouth Colliery, which is now Sunderland Stadium of Light.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. So if you go to the Stadium of Light,
yeah,
you actually, when I used to sit there, you were on top of the shaft.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Filled in, or is it still there? Is it still there?
Yeah. Well, no.
I mean, were they filled it in or just left it?
I think they filled it in.
Because I was talking to a guy from Bentley. I talked to a lot of miners. It seems to be all my conversations with miners. I mean, he'd be going back to Bentley. You found the old pit head, as it were, and he'd just to help him because he was ill. He would imagine all the tunnels underground and all the goings on in each pit and each lane, and it was all still there.
Yeah.
Just sealed on the top.
Sealed, yeah.
All
It's
still existing.
capping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they've done with Gilliland.
Yeah, so it's just left.
It, yeah. They've actually done one of the towers. I don't know if you maybe heard about it. They've used explosives.
Yeah.
But there's still a tower up there, #1 tower.
Is there?
Yeah, which the problem is with it, if they bring it down with explosives, they're still taking methane gas to a power station on site.
Is it?
Yeah. So they're taking methane. And the problem with using explosives, as you can imagine, is below the whole village up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have to take that down bit by bit, I would imagine.
Why would they want to take it down?
Well, it's going to be for units and that. They're going to build units, not housing as yet. Because you've got
methane gas everywhere.
And you've got to clear the land of anything.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got to go down, I think it's a metre to clear the land before you can build houses on.
Yeah.
But so they haven't said that.
So where's the methane coming from? The mine?
Yes, it's coming out the mine, yeah.
So did you have to deal with methane when you were down there?
Well, there was, methane pipes, you had to, as you're advanced, you put your methane pipes up.
And that now is just easing through, seeping through.
Yeah, seeping through. For how long, I don't know. It was very methane, full of methane. Yeah, it was.
So this was I'm just going to, this Kellaway's a warm colliery.
Yes, yeah, deep.
And now, Soggy was talking about one that was caught fire, and they had to, because the air was coming in and the whole colliery caught fire, the coal caught fire, and they got the men.
At Gilliland, yeah.
It was Gilliland, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So with methane going on, I hadn't quite got this nuance. Your coal's caught fire, it's burning naturally. Yeah, yeah. And then there happens to be methane, obviously it's escaping all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how does that manifest itself in a fire? Is it just like sudden explosions, or?
No, they have to pump. What is it? They pump into it, John.
They pump cement into it.
So they do. They pump stuff in.
The one that caught fire was very near the pit bottom. And the ventilation was really good. It was cool. So the methane develops further. The further you go into the mine, that's where the methane develops.
See, there would be, with the pipes, they would take most of it out from that area.
The heat and everything.
So the methane, as John said, was coming straight from well in.
But this particular face was really near the pit bottom, and the ventilation was really, really.
So it's coming like a gale force
cold. Yeah. So, but it could have, if it, in its worst aspect, it could have closed the colliery. But
so with that fire, they'd have to keep that shaft closed for a long time, or?
Yeah. Well, they would have to stop everything, and they bring this stuff in. I forget what it's called now.
They dug a massive hole, didn't they?
Yeah.
Excavated and filled it with this material.
And are you guys doing that, or do they have to bring a special team in?
They bring a special team in, yeah.
And so, for example, in a private mine, Mr. Budge's mine, has he got to pay for a special team to come down from some
that would be
part of the country, as it were?
That would be cost.
There wouldn't be a lot of the special team. There wouldn't be a lot. There would probably be a dozen, because the labourers would be the workforce of the pit.
Right, so they'd be direct.
They would carry, they would do everything, and the speciality guys would just see everything was done right.
Right.
We would do the donkey work.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of expense when it's gone private. Obviously, under the National Coal Board, money went to private from the government coffers,
Yeah.
And I still think privatisation was a good thing, run correctly. But again, when you get that, people work for the government, you get corruption, things like that happen.
Yeah.
You still get it in private, of course, but because they set up areas, Gilliland, you would have 3 pits, and that would be a certain area in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Like this is the Doncaster area.
Yeah.
So it was without that, the hangers-on sort of thing, privatisation, could work nationally. But,
you've got a good head, actually. I like your head.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like what do you call it, a boiler bucket or something?
Yeah. I'm thinking that we're not, our unions running run surgeries. I don't know if Keith and them have told you.
Yeah.
To help with different things, claims and that. And they'll be there now.
Right.
They'll be there now, and they'll know I've been coming here, so I...
You also said you thought you were going to be having stuff poured over you. I had to go, I wish I'd known, I'd have set up a nice bucket of boiling, boiling fat.
Yeah. we tell them you put a mask on. You'd be waiting for the mask to come on.
Yeah, I never bought into that. So, you know what I mean?
Hello. Yeah.
Can I ask, Laurence, how many heads have you got now?
This is the 14th.
14.
14th.
And the aim is how...
I'm hoping, I've got to see the mayor on Friday.
Right.
To talk about our first ideas. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to make 50, and they're going to be in the final monument. They're going to be set in a massive crazy piece of rock.
Right.
They'll all be in like niches.
Yeah, I've seen some.
And then like a seam, coal seam.
And do you think the three from Gilliland will be
Yeah.
represented?
Oh yeah, yeah. They'll be have a starring role.
All right.
Yeah.
In the Doncaster area.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wonder
Yeah.
how that was.
Local celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you will now. You'll be internet stars.
I thought it was going on the ghost train.
How many? Can I ask how many you've had from Bentley Colliery, which is just down the road?
Just one at the moment.
Just one.
We've just had one. Anthony, he was the youngest coal miner there. So he's
when it finished.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
He's young. He's about 49, I think.
Right.
And he's hurt. He's got an injury in his leg.
Oh, right.
And he was. Yeah, I think he absolutely loved it. It was an encyclopedic knowledge of mining.
Oh, right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible kind of knowledge of its history.
So my story pales in significance.
Not at all. No. You have twice the age, and everybody's story is absolutely fascinating, actually.
Yeah. John's been telling me about a story when we were coming today. Which is an incredible story.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, about when they went on the pit holidays.
Oh, yeah.
They went to Tour of France, hitchhiking.
Really?
And in them days you could hitchhike.
Yeah.
You know, Laurence, it wasn't as dangerous as it is now. But yeah, what a story.
Young and daft.
Yeah? Got yourself into a bit of trouble, eh?
Well, I think, how much money did you go with, John, by the way?
Well, it was as much as we could. It wasn't a lot of money. But, we hitchhiked from London to Southampton. From Yorkshire to Southampton.
Yeah.
And when we got to Southampton, it was 12 o'clock at night. We couldn't get a hotel, so we slept in the park with our bags. And the plan was, this was the plan, to get to Cherbourg and hitchhike as far as we could down France for a week and hitchhike back. It's pretty simple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We couldn't get up to Cherbourg, nobody stopped to give us a lift. So we decided we'd come back. We come back and we spent a week spent 2 weeks in Bournemouth. But all in all, we were away 4.5 weeks. And when we got back, the manager of the colliery wanted to sack us because we'd been away without leave.
Oh, really?
But we thought of a story. Tell them we got mugged.
Oh, really?
So we took the money off us. We had to hitchhike all the way back from France to And you looked at us as though we were stupid. And we must have been very convincing because they didn't sack us.
Well, I expect you are when your life's on the line.
We were stuck in Southampton and we had £2 between us. So we thought the best thing you can do is go to Southampton Docks and look for a wagon that's going to Newcastle. So we saw this guy with this wagon with Newcastle on, so we went and said, "Can you take us up the ferry bridge, pal?" Without Geordie accent, you know what I mean? Yeah, he says, "If you do us a favour." What's that? He said, the lads haven't turned in for work to load the wagon up. So if you give us a hand to load the wagon up, I'll take you home. And it was a big trailer full of watermelons.
Oh no!
So we loaded his wagon up. He said, right, get in and I'll take you home. Halfway up, decided he had to stop. And he was hungry. So went to this cabin. We never ate for 2 days.
2 days?
Never ate. So
You hadn't eaten for 2 days?
he says, are you hungry? No, no. So he come back with his big breakfast. And me and Vince, my mate, was just looking at him now.
Oh no!
Our tongues was hitting the table. He said, are you sure you don't want anything? No, no, you're okay, okay. So he said, I'm off to the toilet. He went to the toilet and he come back with 2 breakfasts for me.
Oh nice.
He says, come on, he says. So we got on well. So
Fantastic.
he dropped us off at the nearest he could to where we lived. And he gave us a box of melons each.
Flipping it.
So when I got home, I'd never spoken to my mum for 5 weeks. I knocked on the door and I said, it's me. And she hit the room. I said, I've got you a present. What? I said, a box of melons. She said, well, you've got to ring the pit tomorrow morning because I want to sack you.
Jesus.
The lad he went with was a real character as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, nothing ever fazed him, did it, John? It just,
But them days you could do that because it was pretty safe. Nowadays you couldn't even think of doing something like that.
No.
Couldn't think of it. There's too many crazy people.
That's a lovely idea. You got to Shedwell. We're going to have a holiday in Bournemouth.
Yeah, the first meal we ordered was frog's legs.
Of course.
I never ever touched them again. I couldn't catch them.
The second one was snails.
Oh, it was horrible. I lived on packets of crisps. Yeah, it was an experience. It was funny.
Well, your holidays from the pit. I mean,
it was annual holiday, August, first 2 weeks in
and
August.
did the whole pit close down?
Everything closed down, yeah.
And did all the pits in Yorkshire close down at the same time?
I don't know what the accommodation
The
was.
pits never closed down. They used to ask for volunteers.
Yeah, just to maintain it, you know.
And
like,
do what had to be done for
Right.
maintenance or
So
whatever.
the maintenance, the skeleton crew
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
But most people took the 2 weeks in August.
And did you go together in to the same place, as it were? I mean, did you all go to Skegness, for example?
No, I don't. Not moving into Yorkshire. In the northeast,
Right.
you did. You went
Right.
to South Shields,
Right.
Whitley Bay, them were the 2 on the northeast coast.
And what would you be staying at? A holiday camp or a...
Like a holiday camp sort of thing.
So basically all the people you spent the whole of your life with, you went on a bloody holiday with as well.
Well, in them days there was the communities that had social things going.
Yeah.
Everybody did welfare systems going.
Yeah.
So
And that was run by the unions or the company?
unions and sometimes the company in the good days, and then they wanted nothing to do with it then. So it was down to the unions who organised. So, which I would say that the reputation of the National Union of Mine Workers has been very good.
Yeah.
And I take out of that the 1984 strike where we
You wouldn't include that?
we were mismanaged in many ways. But that was a political thing.
Mismanaged? I mean, you were obviously coached to go on the strike and everything.
Oh, without a doubt, led.
Yeah. And the mismanagement was in negotiation or in...
Well, yeah, with I think it all ends to the leader. And the leader was Cargill at that time. And yeah. But
Is this the sort of thing you knew, you had a feeling of at the time, or is it only 10 years later you go, that could have gone better?
yeah.
It's like, damn it, we don't even realise at that time what was going on.
Yeah, there was. But it was about communities, wasn't it? It was and that's why the strike was basically about.
But it's interesting, actually. The strike was really about communities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you left mining, did you get another job or did you go into retirement?
I retired, me.
So you were a miner all your life?
Yes, yes. From 15, yeah.
Jesus.
From 15 to how old, Stan?
Can I say 70 this year?
Really? No, you can't.
No, I don't like saying it like, but 70. It's John says it's just another birthday, but I just feel it's, you know.
Significant one. What, you're hoping John's going to get you a nice present this year?
Well, I think what it is, it's just another birthday towards the box, and that's, you know, that's.
So how many years in total did you mine for?
45.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
and when you talk about me, it was in 1975 the new system of the pension came, which made it one of the best pensions schemes going, and I think that's why a lot of people stayed with it, because of that.
And how long have the trio been together? Out of that 45 years, how long has the trio been together? Have you, John and Soggy?
Well, John way back. Yeah, I used to look after John. Keith came from a closing pit. Soggy, I'll give him his proper name, his pit name.
His proper name.
And he came from, what college did Soggy come from?
Charleston.
And he came, and obviously he was a union representative at that colliery, which he took on board at Gilliland, and did a very good job.
Popular man.
Very first class, good thinker, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was, his dad was a union representative at the colliery, so it was a family thing, you know.
Yeah.
The strength of the friendship between you three is like so strong. Like, it's a brilliant thing to have.
So if you look
all
down to
three
chin
of yous as well. In terms of the wax heads, I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Like.
Yeah.
Will the wax heads be together?
What do you think? Not a bad idea.
Yeah, is a group thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea actually.
Brilliant.
It would be nice to think that you could go.
We used to take
You're there with.
We used to take the retired miners to Blackpool for 3 days. We used to book five hotels completely. They were our hotels, nobody else. And the union used to pay for that. We used to have a pit shop, and anything you want you could get from the pit shop, anything at all. Stan worked in the pit shop.
For a
All the
spell.
money that we earned went into
Stan's pocket.
And when it dwindled
I
down,
could tell you a story about
short
that.
of money.
It was run, the basic man was a man called Howard Wadsworth, who was well up in the union, and he ran the pit shop
5 buses.
on a full-time basis along with me.
Yeah.
Just sit behind Laurence, otherwise I'll get told.
And it made a lot of money, and that's
The pit shop made a lot of money.
we were home, yeah.
Was that an individual? Was
An
that an
income of-
independent? Was that an independent?
Yes, I were run by the union.
All right.
They give us a building, which used to be the old bus stop. And
Oh, bus stop.
it was a bus stop.
So
And there were 2,000 men at Gilliland.
you set up a shop in a bus shelter.
Yeah.
And what did your shop sell?
As John says, anything.
Really?
Anything.
What, anything?
Yeah.
Name 5 things that the shop sold.
Anything you wanted.
We had to deal
Anything.
with Adidas. Yeah, we could get the top
Got the,
class stuff. Yeah.
got the television, the refrigerator, the freezer,
Yeah.
the car.
Really?
Sounds like
In
generation.
his bus shelter?
Yeah. We could get
Depending on how much
a
money
suit,
you
get measured for a
bought.
suit at a shop.
Depending on how much money you bought, the percentage come off your pay note every week. Not if a £5 every week till the bill was paid off.
That's amazing. So it used to come directly from your wage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the union funds.
So me and Laurence have got a disused bus shelter as a shop. Like, that can't be it. It's got to be like a building, hasn't it?
Yes, it is. A proper brick building.
It was
And
in
they
the
made
car
some
park.
adjustment with it. And it was in the car park.
It was a car park. The bus that fetched the miners into work and took them home used to park there beside the pit shop.
Like a gatehouse thing.
Yeah.
Right, I'm with you.
wasn't a pudding.
I thought you had like a pasting table with Adidas and stuff like that.
You know, whatever you bought, they'll put 10–12% on extra, and that money went to take the retired miners away, or whatever. Christmas dinners, we give them a Christmas dinner every year. We get buses to fetch them in, give them a Christmas dinner, entertainment, bingo, then we get the buses to take them home.
Do you know, when I started with this project, it was only going to be one afternoon of my life ever taken up by this. And now, I think, we're how many months in now? Like 5, 6?
Yeah.
But the stuff we learn, or the stuff I learned, because I didn't know half the history, but I certainly look at Doncaster and the surrounding boroughs in a totally different way in terms of what the mines and the communities did for their areas. And you look at like Woodlands and Broadsworth area, like I walked through there when we had this consultation with Laurence, and actually what I started to link is that the mines really ran the communities. Like the community was the mine. So the welfare, the pictures, the clubs, everything was mine funded. And then you used to be saying like you had these shops where you took ex-miners away, and I think one of the problems that we've got in the UK now is about social care and stuff like that, and these are massive things that we used to have to look after each other, and now we don't have these things, and we've got a massive gap, you know what I mean, and that was never government funded, that was always funded via you guys, the community that you created.
And that's gone now.
Yeah,
it's gone.
You can never replace that though, do you know what I mean? You can never create such a strong sense of community that paid 12% on top of an item, knowing that it was going to such an amazing thing. We'd always want 12% off in Sodom, wouldn't we?
When there was such a big influx of miners from all over Scotland, Wales, everywhere, you know what I mean? And we had a big estate where everybody lived, an estate built just for the people who come to work at Kenley. So people actually built a working men's club on the estate. They actually built it.
What? The people built it?
The club. They went and got into the bank, they went to the breweries, they got financial, and they called the club SYD Club. And the SYD stood for Scottish, Yorkshire and Durham.
Oh, lovely.
And it was the best club in Yorkshire. If you weren't in at 7 o'clock at night, you didn't get a seat. You didn't get a seat. And at Christmas, you had to be in at 6 o'clock at night, otherwise you didn't get a seat. And it was, and they actually, the people of the community actually built that club. And they called it SID, Scottish, Yorkshire and Durham.
And what we're left now is Gilliland Social Centre. Now that started with a different organisation, CISWO, I don't know if you've heard of them. It's Disabled Miners Organisation. That's run differently from any other. And that's what's left Gilliland Social Centre.
Wow.
And that's
brilliant.
So your shop, does that mean you knew, did you deal with all 2,000 miners? Did you know
yes,
them?
yes. Well, I did, yeah.
Each shift?
Yeah.
So did you, what were the hours of the shop?
When I opened it, 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock. 5 days a week, 2,000 and odd men, and you know, you can imagine that.
So you weren't selling food; you were selling provisions.
Material goods, yeah.
You weren't selling Mars bars, and it wasn't the cost.
No, none of that.
Canary food.
Yeah, no. But anything, you could get anything. Yeah.
Did all the pits have a pit shop?
Yeah, yes, some of them did. Prince of Wales, that was down the road, that had a shop. I don't know, ours was obviously the biggest, that's the biggest workforce.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And how long did you run the shop for?
Oh, about 3 or 4 years. Yeah. And I used to get to go on the trips to Blackpool with them, you know, which was great.
So what do you boys do now? Do you still go to Blackpool?
No, my input now is the Durham Miners Gala.
Oh, right.
You've maybe heard of that.
Yeah.
We told you, I think, last time. And that still is strong.
When is that?
It's second week in July. So we go up there and march through with the banners and everything. Yeah, it's quite a day. And there's no pitch in Durham now.
No.
But the people in the local villages keep this banner system going.
Yeah.
Which is unique, really. And that's the strongest thing at the moment. That's what's left of it.
And has the next generation picked up on that, or is that very much the old generation carrying on old?
I think a mixture of the handed down, to from the older generation. As you see, a lot of them there. And then we get the political people doing speeches and that in the park.
So it becomes a bit of a focal point for politics.
It's a social gathering, really. It's probably the last bastion, really, of what's left of the.
And what do you do for that? What's your offer? Do you?
I just go and represent Gilliland. We have different officials, and it's really a get together from ex-Gilliland men,
Yeah.
And I get quite a few going.
So it's a coach trip up.
They run a coach up, but we go up individually for the weekend.
So, this is probably a stupid question, but so how come all the Kellenly miners go to Durham Gala? Or is like the Durham Gala like the biggest mining gala?
It is the biggest.
So everyone goes up
I think
to that
it's,
to...
I think it's the only one.
It's been going the longest, that's why it's so big up there. People so long.
And then people from mines all around all congregate at this?
Yeah, and other unions now, you get a lot of different unions represented up there as well. Like it's a social thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it's become. It's not just a mining now.
So we could send Laurence up to do 1 hour portraiture then?
Oh. Yeah.
Until he's too drunk.
I find this exhausting.
That's a big job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the turnout there at the Miners' Gala is something like 200,000 people.
Wow.
If you've never been,
I don't know if you've been in Durham City.
If you've never been there, you've got to go and see it.
You've never been in Durham City,
Been
have
to
you?
Durham, yeah.
No.
It's narrow streets.
Yeah,
It's a medieval.
It's a small town, isn't it?
It's very small, hilly and everything. And they all congregate.
Might have to be a trip up.
Yeah, it'd be worth doing for you.
I'd like to create a catalogue of images from there.
Most collieries at that time had a band, so every banner, there was a band with every banner.
Brass bands.
The wind band, trumpets and everything, the brass band, yeah, but now there's very few bands, but these bands, they come up from Scotland with the kilts and the bagpipes, they come from Kent, it's come from everywhere.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable. If you've never been there, it's an experience, it's absolutely brilliant.
I have to try and convince my wife to partake in these things because she's not been involved with this project, so all she knows is that Laurence comes around ours, we watch these videos back and drink red wine, that's all she really knows. And then comes and tells us we've had enough. We get evicted.
It's an experience going up to see that.
Tried to convince her she wanted to go to Cap House one weekend, but she didn't like lifts, she didn't like small spaces, she didn't like the dark.
No.
So-
Doesn't like mining.
I took the grandchildren down there, Cap House.
Did you?
Mm. Yeah.
I've got to get down.
I'm up there myself. I'm in there.
Oh,
Are you?
Yes, I big photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that?
So
A
please,
guy come and actually did a book,
Oh yeah.
and then he took some. He interviewed me and things like that, and took photos, and I'm up there, down in history.
You're gonna be up there again.
And with
after-
this is the double for me.
Jeez,
Oh,
this
it's-
famous miner.
With a name like that. So
Gilliland.
Gilliland. so it'd stick out a bit, wouldn't it?
It would be good if you had all three of these next to each other in the same bit of stone. Imagine that. How do you all stand? Who goes in the middle?
Well,
John's laughing.
I think John would like to be that.
Keeper of the peace.
Yeah.
Who's the worst one out of the three of us?
But you
The worst one,
need to go
as
to
regards what? Sarcasm?
Sarcasm and behaviour, yeah.
We were all brought up with a kind of that crack we had in the colliery, so it's Soggy is an artist at it.
I've got some giant conifers in my garden. They're really giant, and I got a local gardener come to trim me conifers. I tell him about capos, him and his wife, and they just couldn't believe it. And actually went, and they went down the mine, and they come back and said it's the best experience they've ever had.
I thought it was fantastic.
There you go. You've got to go. It's brilliant.
Gilliland used to run open days where the people outside the mine industry could come, and it went down well. Yeah. Obviously privatisation stopped all that kind of carry on.
Yeah.
All that. The capitalist system destroys everything, don't it, eventually, like what we had. But no, that's the way it's gone. The modern people now they don't want that anymore, you know. It's gone. Technology, computers, the internet. We've had to embrace it at our age.
You're pretty good on Facebook, you guys, aren't you?
Yeah, some of us are. Yeah.
I don't do it. You're looking a bit like Putin at the moment. I'm very sorry. Well, he's a handsome fella.
Right.
It'll come good.
Yeah, I see he's got re-elected,
Yeah.
which is amazing, isn't it?
He's got a nerve.
Apparently, in their system, I was just looking at it the other night, they can't have anybody against him, can they? He has to select who he's for. There was a programme of Panorama, the reporter had gone. 75% of the vote.
Wow. Well, at the minute there's this huge thing about the American and the English elections, isn't there, with Facebook
Oh,
and
right,
all sorts of stuff, so that's going to be an interesting one when that comes out.
Yeah, have they used Facebook to...
Don't know the ins and outs. It looks like they've ascertained data and tried to influence. I mean, the thing is with social media nowadays, and being a lecturer, a teacher of young people who have grown up since the age of, 9 with social media, it's outrageous the impact and the influence it has on their lives.
Yeah.
So it's probably the most influential thing in 16-year-olds' world.
Yeah.
Whereas you think when we were growing up, then it was all knowledge from parents and stuff like that. Whereas now, everything that they learn is YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
Parents are secondary to anything that is discussed, which... So if Facebook can get hold of data, God knows what they've got, but...
Yeah.
Very, very powerful.
Yeah, very.
If anything, it's one of these things, it's almost like AI, isn't it? Where we're fearful of creating these robots that will overtake us like that, whereas like the power of the internet, social media, Facebook, whatever will be the next one,
Yeah.
that's running away with more than AI and robots can.
Yeah, it's scary really, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's like something that's got totally out of control. But I was looking the other day, and since this investigation thing came out, the share price dropped 60 billion. And that's only a small dent.
Yeah.
That's unreal, isn't it?
And they said, yeah, it's stabilised now. But you just think, wow, 60 billion, it'd still be a massive billion-dollar company.
The total it was nothing.
Yeah. It's running our lives, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything.
We were just talking in the car coming here about how advanced the world's become since we were little, and how crazy the world is now. And I dread to think what it's going to be like in 100 years' time. I just dread to think what it's going to be like.
Scary.
Just this,
I've
there's
got
so
to
many-
admit, I've embraced it to the extent that I've learnt more now at my late age now than I ever, you know.
But the strange thing is now for me, in particular, I mean, what, I'm 33, so I'm probably right in the middle of both sides of the generation shift. And like, I remember being sat at Sunday dinner at my nan and granddad's house, and to get a slice of beef you had to answer a question out of encyclopedia. Like Pear's encyclopedia, like the printed book, do you know what I mean? And we never had, I mean, we never had the source to find anything out in the whole entire planet. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You had to either go to a library or ask an elder. Say, oh, John, what's this about? Blah, blah, blah. And then you'd be racking your brain to see if you knew it. And if you didn't know it, then you just had to wait. Whereas now you've got Google that can just return a search in a millisecond.
just like that.
Yeah, you
But this is like with kids now. Like in the classroom, we face such an issue with they want things like yesterday. They don't want to wait for anything, and they're so like instantaneous. Then they really do struggle because they just expect everything there and then. They don't. The learning process, the word process, is just too long. They just want
Now,
instant.
yes. And especially with art and things like that, it's, as Laurence would say, in terms of sculpting and things, the process you learn starts from such a small step. I mean, how long have you been sculpting, Laurence? 30, 40 years?
30 years?
yeah.
And you're still practicing.
It's really,
Still developing. Still learn.
I still don't understand it.
Where's some of your work at then, Laurence?
Well, it's all over, to be honest with you. There's some, at this very moment, there's a shipping going to Australia at the moment.
Oh, right.
Got an exhibitions in Australia.
So if I look at you on the internet, I can get
You
to
see
know all
around,
the information about you and
Yeah.
Well, I haven't
all
done-
your work.
It needs a new website though, Stan, I keep telling it. The website's not fully working.
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
just don't have time to do websites and things.
Right.
But no, it's I don't often do public commissions like this.
Right,
Well, I stopped doing them. I did a load when I was about in my 30s, and I felt that actually I wasn't good enough, and that really I should wait. And so this is the next. I feel a bit better about myself now. And so this is the first sort of public commission I've had. So most of my stuff is sold through galleries. It
Right.
goes to various places all around, you know, America or Switzerland or France or Germany or
Right.
and England and around there, but they're often in private collections.
Mhm.
It's a difficult life. It's a difficult life. They had,
So it extends from heads, you do full body?
heads? No, well, I do. Yeah, I don't do heads usually. This is my kind of.
Oh, right, right. It's
This
just
is-
a learning process for you then.
No, no, I've done it, but I don't. I make figures and I abuse the figures really. I work with.
Right.
I work with life-size clay men. I'm doing a 26-foot high man at the moment.
Right.
Out of plaster, and he'll be in bronze.
Have you got any, you haven't got anything in the Yorkshire Sculpture Park, have you?
No. Unlucky for me. It would be nice, but
They've got some stuff there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have.
He's only the second best bronze artist.
yeah. Yeah. There was a statistic the other day that there's 40,000 artists in London, only 500 make a living out of it without having to teach or do other things.
Mm.
So it's a very, very difficult life.
The catcher would look good in your sculpture though.
Yeah.
The Mark II when you really go for the full scale.
Right, I'm getting stuck down here. We've got to move around. So you didn't carry on building a shop, running a shop once you'd finished then? You didn't fancy...
No, not really, no, it wasn't my... I could deal with miners, but the general public, I think I'd have a problem with. But I knew what I was dealing with them, you know.
So who was the guy you ran the shop with?
Howard Wadsworth. He was a famous man in during the strike.
Was he?
Yes, he was ridiculed about. He was the delegate of our union at Gilliland.
Right.
He's passed away now, but he was the main guy on the union. He was a very good speaker.
Yorkshireman?
Yes, he was Yorkshire John, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yorkshire born, Yorkshire bred, sung about and thinking.
And he was all Howard. He was all about himself, like, you know. Everything was about Howard. But he was a clever bloke, really. He was an electrician by trade.
So how did he end up running a shop?
He was an electrician from Prince of Wales to Kellinley. Got straight under the union, the branch, local branch, as delegate, as representative, going to Barnsley. That's where he started it. When the shop started, he'd gone to management and asked to start the shop. They said, right, you can have the old bus shelter, we'll get it done up for you, counters in and everything, store places for your goods and everything, and it went from there. And it was lucrative business. You can imagine 2,000 men, having to administer all that. But yeah. And we were recognised as a charity, which helped greatly.
Yeah.
And then he, then the strike come, and his part in it was he was our representative. And after 6 months on strike, he decided there's something not right here. So he proposed the Kelly workforce. He sent a document out to see if we wanted. Basically, the argument was about having a vote. I don't know. Giving a vote so everybody would, you know, be on strike.
All right.
Anyway, he proposed this, but he did it all wrong as regards. He went to the personnel manager at Kelly at the time, and he administered it, sending these letters to all of us about a ballot. Anyway, he was ridiculed for it. But again, we were so deep into it and so bitter. There was no going back, and the leader of the union wasn't going to do anything about that. So we went for a 12-month to defeat.
God. So were you on the picket line, or?
I did do a spell on the picket line. There's things I was involved in that I wouldn't like to sort of say here, but what was my role? I was directing pickets to go to certain collieries, with the cash, giving them money to for the cars to drive to picket lines and whatever.
So did the shop, for example, have any role in dispersing of stuff for the pickets? Was it a helpful place? I mean, did it support the pickets and the money?
Obviously when we're on strike, the whole lot.
So the shop was closed?
Yeah, it was closed. But I could still get access for people who wanted stuff. So there was a run on oil lamps, you know, the miners' oil lamps. So I used to have to go into the colliery, get permission to go into the colliery.
When the strike finished, and we had to go back to work, the manager got us all into this big hall.
Can you still look at me?
Oh, sorry.
And he said, anybody that calls anybody a scab will be instantly dismissed from the colliery. You don't use that word scab. So what we used to say was sausage, chips and beans. Hey, it was a sausage, chips and beans.
That's what
they couldn't do it. They couldn't persecute you for that.
They got us all in, as John says, and said we haven't used that word. Anybody would be severely disciplined if you used that word towards anybody.
With sausage, chips and beans.
That's what it come out. So
So I mean, it's a sore subject, I know, but those guys
Who went back to work.
sausage, chips and beans,
Yeah.
how was it for them after?
Well, it couldn't have been very nice. I never had much to do with it as regards that, like. But my problem was my brother went back,
Oh Christ!
which was a very delicate situation.
How
He
did
went back for a week. So I never spoke to him about it. I spoke to him, but he knew how I felt and what my father, who'd been alive, might have thought.
1 hour.
You know, that would have been a. But anyway, it's in the past now.
Yeah. But you know, destroys community. Yeah.
Families, yeah, without a doubt, it does.
They used to, in our workmen's club, when the strike was finished, there was 2 separate places where you could sit. Then that went back to work would sit there, and nobody would talk to them. And the lads who were really bitter about it, they would probably walk by and give them the verbal, and it was a.
You could imagine the management, how they had
Yeah.
to police it, basically. Well, and at the end, at Kelney, I remember at the end, John, you know, thinking on who worked at Kelney, there wasn't many of them left, you know, that went back to work.
Yeah.
So they'd all been moved on or gone, took redundancy. A lot went that way, you know.
Yeah. It's a funny sort of way. I mean, the mine was obviously an incredibly strong community, but even before the mine kind of finished, that would have split it in half anyway, I presume.
I think, you know, in Kelney was unique in that way, that we had certain communities. There was us, John, from the northeast. There was the Scottish groups and different, all together, you know.
Yeah.
Communities moved into one colliery at the end. And two different views.
During the strike, we used to raid the farmers' fields. Well, you had to eat, didn't you? You had to provide food. And two of our lads, 12 o'clock at night, decided they would go and pinch some carrots. So they went into this field, and they got 3 bags of carrots. And when they come out of the field, there was 2 policemen waiting there. And they said, "What you got in the bags?" "Carrots." "Right, I'll give you 2 options. You can either come to the police station with me, or there's 2 truncheons here. You go back in the field and you plant all them carrots again." So they took the option, they went and planted the carrots.
We were sent on a mission to get some, we'd heard of a field that was had sweet corn.
Yeah.
We thought it was sweet corn. So we went into the field and it was high. Oh, this wheat. Anyway, we're getting the pods and everything, putting them in bag, and they weighed a ton. And we're dragging them out the field. When we get back to the headquarters, it wasn't actually sweet corn, it was for animal feed. But it was a nice supplement.
You ate it, you had it all, you ate it.
Yeah. But, of course, we had to go to the local farmers. And one of them, Poskett, he designated a field of carrots. Well, half a field.
Really?
Because in them days with carrots, the machines didn't pick up all the carrots. Yeah. So he let us pick the land, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
God, it's getting back to medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it become. The coal situation going on with the spoil heaps.
Yeah.
That's the coal people did that, you know, for heating.
We should go every night, 8 o'clock at night, to a local open cast site, Prince of Wales at Pontefract, with our bags and our picks and our shoulders, and come back with coal.
Really? Was it in the middle of winter that the was it the strike in winter? I mean, how long did it last?
It lasted from
12 months.
12 months.
March 12 months. Yeah.
From February to March, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, really, your lives would have become seasonal. You'd have been looking for seasonal food.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, sweet
Yeah,
corn.
yeah, the different
Yeah.
times of the year. Yeah.
It was rough for the first few months, but after 4, 5, 6 months, you sort of got into a routine that you had nothing, so you had to go and get something.
The thing on we had before the 12-month strike, we had 2 5 weeks and 6 weeks, 7 weeks strike. That was 1972 and 1974. And I was involved in both of them.
Yeah.
And me and your Alan, I remember me and your Alan,
Yeah.
so we went up to Gilliland to picket our own pit because the deputies were going in.
Yeah.
We had a push over here, and the wall as you go into the entrance of Gilliland, where everybody finished up over this wall. We knocked the wall down, in fact. Right, that was scary. But the police won, like the war in the '84 strike, because they'd been from the government, wherever it come from, their orders what to do over and above, not just,
Yeah.
you know, just a little bit of a push and a shove.
There were police, there was army. We knew there was army because developers saw the army on the picket line.
Yeah, the motorised.
So how many on your picket?
Well, it varied. The '84 one, 72 and 74, you just needed about 12 pickets on a gate, because nobody went in, sort of thing. On the '84, when people started going in, that's when it became horrible. And you used to have to organise mass pickets, where pickets from other collieries had to come, you know. And Gilliland Club was the main point.
And what do guys do when they got into the pit? Do they actually run it? Did they actually produce coal? Or was it just a symbolic act?
Not, they did, but not a lot.
No, they didn't. They maybe turned the machine over. Just is it?
Keep it running.
And they go on television and say, yes, we've started production.
Right.
It was best in the summertime, because in the summer it was a lovely, lovely summer, and we used to go on the picket line with our t-shirt and our shorts on, and the bobbies would be there with the big coats, the jumpers, the hats, and the buttons and the shields and everything. You could see the sweat running down the faces.
Did you a rapport build up with them, or they really were briefed to be nasty, as it were? So there was no rapport with the police or anything, you know?
In some picket cases, there were a little bit rapport, but then they introduced a group, the Metropolitan Police. I think you might have heard of them. Now, they were a different type of policemen. They were government, like army type.
Right.
Marching and saluting, banging on the shields and all that.
Really?
Yeah, they were about that. That was the army,
Like
basically.
Zulu wanted,
Yeah.
just like the Zulu. Boom, 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 boom.
Really?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Really?
Really.
To
profound.
scare you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because you're only normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you're drilled in sort of
I think
anti.
Thatcher
Okay.
decided it was a war, an internal civil war, if you like.
Yeah.
When we picked the owl pit, there was a big bend near the colliery, so we couldn't see when the lads were coming to go into work, the scouts we call them. We couldn't see them until the last minute, so we couldn't get a big push. So this lad came up with the idea, he would get one of these flares that the lifeguards use. And he would sit in the field 3 miles away, and when he saw them, he set this flare up. So we would know they were coming.
I was in the
You got this-
vehicle with a flare.
You got this, yeah, you got
Yeah.
this flare, He'd never used it before, and he'd finished up setting the flare off in the car and blowing the car up.
We pulled up, and that was the idea. To give this flare the signal to the pickets to start. Yeah. And the thing went off. And I think it was Bob Seed.
It was Bob Seed.
It would set the thing off it, because we didn't know what it was flare. The car filled with smoke. You can imagine the panic. And we had to kick the flare out.
So everybody stood at the pit gates like this,
waiting for the flare.
And there's a little smoke on the horizon.
And all the buses come in with them working. We went,
oh no!
Where's the flare?
The police come and chased us on motorbikes.
Really?
So we had to go. Aye. Yeah.
What, drive off or run off?
And then it came on the television. Oh, they've started using weapons now. There was a flare.
No.
You know, the publicity thing. And it was just an early warning system which we decided to get going. Yeah.
Well, everybody's looking for the flare.
Yeah.
Was it the sort of thing where you were on the TV every night as well then?
Well, I don't think I was on it much, no.
God.
Yeah, it was...
So when these, I mean, how many police would come on? How many? I mean, so you're okay. Let's just go through. Let's just go through a day. Okay, you wake up in the morning.
Right, a picket at Gilliland consisted of the bus come in, they come up the motorway from London, wherever. And there was an old mushroom factory where they all used to be. And they would go on the picket line. The local police would be there. But the Metropolitan Police were there, armed with everything. Oh, hundreds, John?
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
Just for Kennedy? Just for Kennedy?
Just for Kennedy, yeah.
How many of you guys?
Because they got word there was going to be a mass picket. So that's where they went.
Probably
Now,
100, 150.
So 150 of you guys at the gates of Kennedy?
yeah, yeah.
And then they've got how many coach loads of potatoes
Oh.
and mash coming in?
At first there was, and I can nearly name them, that come in
Minibus.
like a minibus. There was 12 to 13, 14.
Right.
That's when it first started.
They built some barracks up by the pit, so that's where they slept. So they were on hand, so they were just
Be on the job, yeah.
The police?
The police, yeah.
built the barracks.
Well, when you think about it, it was a... Yeah, it was. It was very close to civil disturbance,
Yeah.
really.
But yeah, it was rough. You can look back and laugh now.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, it was.
Plus, it was bloody serious.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
It's life and death, isn't it?
Yeah.
I used to have strike headquarters and people used to go spotting and we used to put the names of the
It was 5 months before the
up
strike.
on the board. Them had gone in
Really?
day by day, yeah. Yeah. And you'd look at the board and you'd say, oh,
Yeah.
look at him. And then I went one day and my brother's name was up there. So I just felt a bit,
Heart sank.
yeah, nobody said out to me, but some must have thought, yeah, you know.
I was looking
It
for
was,
that.
it was,
5 months before the strike finished, the man that was representing the government, a lad called McGregor, he actually got a deal with NUM to finish the strike. And he phoned Margaret Thatcher up, the Prime Minister, and he said, we've got a breakthrough, we've agreed a deal. And she said, put the deal in a dustbin.
no, there was no deal.
She wouldn't let him settle. Put the deal, he actually got a settlement. Put the deal in the dustbin.
Yeah,
She wanted blood, didn't she?
yeah, she did, yeah. And then politically we thought,
Yeah.
when Labour got voted in, John, they would sort of have a policy for coal. And who did we put in? Because he was electable, Tony Blair,
Yeah.
a right-wing politician, that's all we needed. we weren't going to do anything.
No, they weren't. In fact, the Labour closed as many pits as the Tories in the 50s and the 60s. That's how we all come into Yorkshire.
Yeah, yeah. So there's nothing left of Colony now?
Yeah, there's a tower there.
Oh, yeah, sorry, this is tower.
There's a
with the
power
methane
station. There's a power station on the side.
and the methane.
Yeah.
So the power station got built in the end?
It was, yeah, they were building it, yeah, yeah. And they sold it off to the UK Coal, they sold it off to this company. And they're still running it, yeah.
Yeah, the whole site's going to be in engineering work.
Yeah.
Expecting it to be up and running in 5 years, but because they've got access straight onto the motorways,
Oh, yeah.
and it's going to be a massive engineering company. I don't know who actually got it, but there's big plans, and they've pledged to have 60% of the workforce from the local areas.
Really?
Yeah.
This is ongoing now?
They're starting to build it now, but they'll not be ready for 3 years. But they said 60% of the workforce will come from the local areas around and about. So whether that comes true, I don't know.
Well, they built the glass factory up there, John, in the Sankaban.
Yeah.
And they said they would recruit locally, and they didn't. I think it was less, well, it might have been less than 1%
Yeah.
local people.
A noble ambition then.
And funny enough, mentioned the glassworks. The man with the second biggest head at Gilliland, John Pugh, he works there. John, you got a job there, guys.
So he's upset about that fine's done.
I think he would be. Is he going to appeal it?
I can't understand how it's that much. I've never known a fine be £50, ever.
Well, as I say, it would have been ideal for me, for all three of us to really come, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
As I
if we
say,
all
circumstances were.
the circumstances didn't allow it. It would be
Yeah.
5. It would be 5 hours, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, would it? Yeah,
It would be 5. It
and
would
Soggy's taking his mother to the hospital.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
be 5 hours.
Is your wife all right? Because you couldn't make it last time because of your...
And she's, yeah. My wife suffers some illnesses now.
Have you got children?
Well, stepchildren, yes. We've just moved house, actually, to a small accommodation.
I want to send Soggy 20 quid tonight.
As well.
I want to send Soggy some money tonight
Well,
for the fine.
I'll probably see him on Friday down at the surgery,
Yeah.
John.
Well, I can give you
Might get Chris Kitchen, our leader, to pay it.
I'll give you can give him this Friday, will you? If I get 20 quid, you can give him it on Friday.
Can do, yeah.
See if it's posted it.
Right, let's have a look at you. There comes a time when I really have to stop farting about.
I don't.
Start looking properly. I want you to be nice handsome out of the 3.
Oh,
I don't suppose you've ever been in a position like this before.
no, it's. So YouTube is this where we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the idea is if I get my idea through, which is this idea of this massive great piece of stone with all these niches in it, and all these heads go in this.
Right.
They all go in these recesses all the way down, like a seam of coal going down this rock all the way around it. All these heads.
Brilliant.
Well, each head will have a 2-hour film attached to it. So if you go out with your phone, you look at the head, you find it, and then you look at the film, this film. So imagine 50 years' time, and all of us have gone, it'll all still be running. I mean, this generation of men and women and children will all be saved forever. And all their films and all this stuff that we're talking about. So if you want to say anything special to the grandchildren of the future,
yeah.
and that's the way the idea is slowly evolving, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So the stone will be...
I'm going to the quarry, local quarry, which I think is going to be KB, is it KB White, the stone?
All right.
I'm trying to get some Doncaster stone.
And where will it be positioned,
We're looking at the
Laurence?
At the moment, I'm hoping there's going to be a development on the new site of the old, the new development on the old National Coal Board site, next to the council offices, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm lucky, I can get something built there, so I can have the whole site prepared. Should be brilliant.
Have they got an art school here then? Is it?
Yes, this is the art school.
Is this it? Yeah. And how many students?
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
Because I do a little bit of painting.
Oh, right.
Well, I've took it up in my retirement to see if I would be any good at it.
Yeah.
But I've had no training or anything.
Oh,
Because,
right.
you know, I'm just, you can get stuff off the internet, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Brilliant. Are you enjoying it?
I'm okay. Like stuff you're doing with faces and everything like that. I just can't. I haven't got that to register a face. You know, when I look at a face, it seems to be a natural talent. Landscapes, I'm pretty decent, which is easier.
Yeah.
I think so.
You're showing people?
Not as yet. I haven't announced. I've had requests for people, but I don't think I'm good enough at the moment.
How long have you been doing it?
I've only been doing it like 6 or 7 months.
All right.
So I'm just.
What are you using? Oils or watercolours?
Oils, watercolours, acrylics, and me drawing, obviously, with pencils and pastels. I'm trying the lots to see what I'm good at. I think.
Well, some great guys bringing in drawings of pits, memories of pits and miners and pits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting, actually.
Yeah. I think that might be my line I might go through.
Yeah.
Laurence, if I'm watching that program, Portrait Artists.
Yes.
And there's some brilliant.
They're amazing. You're not doing sculpture ones yet?
No.
I'm waiting for the call.
All right. I've had nobody sit for me as yet, because I don't think I'm not confident. I've asked my wife, but she doesn't want to take part.
It's a brave thing to do, to sit.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Where do you live, Laurence?
In Suffolk,
Suffolk.
just near, well, kind of Lowestoft,
All right.
Ipswich.
Oh,
in the
that side, yeah.
in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere, really.
Lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
These are my age, but not for my kids.
Yeah. All right. That we're friends down in Liphook.
All right, that's where's that? Liphook's down in.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's great down there. It's a different world, you know.
Yeah. It is. Well, it's a different world up here.
It is, yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
North-south split.
Yeah.
Laurence is there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, with everything.
Would you prefer to live up in Durham? Or was your heart here?
I used to no, I'm down here. Because I've been back. You go back to where, and it's obviously massive changes and everything, you know. And the people you talk to back there, they don't know. We have still relations there. They don't know about pits anymore, you know.
No.
Nobody, you know. And the colliery I worked at, it has a banner as well.
Yeah.
That was Hand in Hold colliery.
Hand in Hold.
Hand in Hold. It's near a place called Grange Villa, which John always says I was from, which I was never from that village. It was a notorious village.
All right.
So he keeps saying, you're from the villa, you know, and I says, oh. Because he lived in a select area just to...
Posh.
Oh, posh, yeah.
Hand in the Hole.
Hand in Hold. It's a golf course now.
All right.
So,
As is the way of things.
yes, there's the way of I put as a golf course on it. And I was pony driving there.
Pony driving? What do you
Pony
mean?
driving. Well, the ponies in there.
Oh, what, the coal ponies?
Yes, they used to come to the surface.
Right.
And it was our job to collect them and take them down to the stables. When I first started, that was the job. Groom them and all that,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Did they have all those incredible eye?
Yeah, they did,
Incredible.
yeah.
I saw some photographs of those.
Yeah.
How many did you have?
Ponies?
Yeah.
About 12, I think. 12, yeah.
And were you in sole charge or?
No, we had a proper man that he did that job for years, you know. Taft, they used to call him, I always remember. He was an old guy, you know, and he worked underground and they brought him out in his old age. And he'd be in his 70s, I would have think, at that time.
Really?
But he was educational. You could learn a lot off him, you know.
Really?
Just through experience with the horses and what have you, you know.
Is it what you call a hosier?
Yeah, there was a name, it escapes me.
I've got that photos down there. I've just put it on Facebook. I'll put underneath it. Big job that's done, Stan's head.
Yeah, I think that you'll get some reaction from that.
It's on Facebook now, Stan. You're famous.
I'll show you how to find it on YouTube while we're here.
Eh?
So I'll show you how to find the videos on YouTube. You got YouTube on your phone?
No.
Well, that's the starting point.
I went on to Google.
Look at that.
Yeah. I put Laurence in.
We're not connected to that. How do we connect on this show?
I'm connected.
Why? I'll put it on the
Am I still
Wi-Fi
enough for
college.
you?
That's good now, you're doing well now.
We're on
I'm
college
not
life.
very technical.
I know you're not.
Some people are very animated.
Right.
Oh,
Nightmare.
yeah, ball then.
You'll have seen some
It's
faces.
just, an
there,
inkling.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, brilliant. It's just a gift for me. It's just the manna from heaven.
Yeah, right.
It's just
And I got that before. I only had it 3
What's that
years.
for?
And we'll go off to a big range. I made sure Paula's son, Kyle, was in my car. And all the way...
I always think like we're art.
An hour and a half time, he took me through the phone.
It's,
Right,
it's a
YouTube.
natural thing. People are natural
Yes.
at it, you know. See, anybody can paint,
Search.
anybody can draw.
You either go
But
Laurence
I
Edwards,
think you've got to
or
have a
you go Doncaster
natural
College.
attitude to it.
I think so.
Or to look at something.
So I'm on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And like
Well done.
So go
photograph
Doncaster
it
College.
Yeah.
in your
You
mind.
see there it says live. So
Yeah.
that's one
A lot of
that's
me
live
come
at
to
the
say-
minute.
Maybe because I'm just plain thick.
But
No,
video,
a lot of
No.
people come to me to say, could you train me, could you train me?
Wow.
I've got to change that cover.
And I go, do you know what,
That's soggies.
I was never taught. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I was taught,
Natural,
but,
natural.
but I
ability.
mean,
There's us.
people want to go through lesson after lesson after lesson. So I had one
Yeah.
or two lessons, and
Well,
I just
these
went on
will
from
be
there.
logged, you see, in there as
And
well.
to say constantly come to classes with me would be, I wouldn't be able to teach you anything.
So come
You
on.
have, you have that thing at looking at a face, and
Well, yeah, I
in
think so.
working with
You do
hands,
it
you
now.
can develop something. Yeah.
So
I think so.
when you're at home, you'll
Yeah,
be on your
yeah.
Wi-Fi.
I'll have to think about it, to be
I
honest.
think
Yeah.
some of them, you know,
So
they're
we'll
very
come on,
realistic.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
one, that one will keep.
Right. So go into your Google bit there.
He wouldn't keep still either.
What do you know? No.
Then up to that magnifying glass.
Yeah,
That magnifying one.
yeah.
This one.
How's time going?
And put them
Then
on.
type in
I
Doncaster
don't know.
College.
I'm going to
Yeah.
watch.
And then
No,
you'll see.
no, I'm not going to ask.
Danny will tell us when he's ready.
Click this
Yeah,
one.
right.
We're not far off.
Then you'll see all the things.
You've got surprisingly lovely big eyes. I'm going to have to give you some more big eye.
Big eye, yeah.
Wow.
And what we'll do is we'll collate all these into the same one. Who's yours?
The problem is if I had
Session 7.
a week with you, the subtleties
There he is.
you can get are amazing.
Your session 7. There you go.
On session 7.
And what we'll do is we'll adapt all the sessions so that they read the people's names so that we can find them easier and put them all into one playlist as well.
That's unreal. Technology, yeah.
So if we go into Donny College,
That's
now,
amazing, John.
I can say that one there's live. Stan
Spent
Gilliland.
the first half of the interview complaining about the technology, and now we're loving it.
Yeah, well, that's,
Maybe held the bronze.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
It's good, isn't it?
yeah.
Wow.
Are you impressed, John?
We're going to end up. Have you held that?
Yeah. Heavy, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't believe he's hacked some wood to put it on my door.
I love that though. I love putting bits of 2x4 into bronze.
I couldn't believe that that was actually bronze. It's-
That's unreal, that. What a guy this is.
He's an amazing guy.
He is. On YouTube now.
You are?
Are you impressed, John?
I am impressed. When Paula tells us to go on YouTube,
Yeah, I have to show Paul how to use it as well, don't worry.
I typed YouTube in, and I typed Lawrence's name in, and all I got was details about Laurence.
Yeah,
That's what you asked for.
And I thought, well, where's the YouTube live?
yeah. It's all in there. So just go into the Doncaster College one, we'll make sure that we rename them all so it's easier to find, but hopefully we'll have a central website where it'll all go as well. which-
Yeah.
In the end, there'll be a serious website with it all on.
So we're not going to be forgotten then?
Never.
Yeah, we're there for as long as life exists.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as bronze
human.
exists.
Well, not even just human life. We might be replaced by robots and then they'll just tap in anyway.
Or as the bloke who's just died, Hawkins,
Yeah.
he's told us to find other planets.
So, do you want more miners to come forward, or you got
Yeah.
enough?
Please.
Want everyone.
Yeah, you haven't got
Ah.
enough.
Well, I'll tell you now, the only problem you've got now at getting people here is the parking,
Yeah.
because there's no parking. Stan's got us this stable sickness, so we're okay. But for anybody to come from outside Doncaster, if the college could just somehow
Yeah.
get a parking just for when they do the sculpture and then they can go home.
That's something that I'll take on board.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, if you see Soggy today, he's got a £50 fine.
Yeah. So it'll be £25, I think, if he's paid it before 2 weeks.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to him when I get home.
Yeah. Just have a look on the wording, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, they are so keen around here. It's just ridiculous. And what happened is that used to be pay and display in there. I mean, it still is, but it's all mobile because they kept making the ticket machines.
What?
So
the first time I come, Paul says there's a car park there, but you've got to pay with your mobile. I said, pay by your mobile?
Yeah. So they had 3 ticket machines stolen within the space of 2.5 weeks, and each one was a couple of £1,000. If you think how many cars are in there, you're on £4 a day.
But if the college could do something for somebody coming,
good idea.
Just to do the sculpting, then they can shut off.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I'll speak to them about it.
Because I know there's lots of lads interested. There's one lad particularly who's pushing it for your big style.
Brilliant.
The Stuart Ord. And if the next one coming, I would like it to be Stuart.
Yeah.
Because he's on Facebook and he's really pushing it for you.
The thing that we're doing at the minute is it's been a bit crazy in terms of everything at the minute. With Laurence getting Australia sorted, I've just come back from Berlin. It's been a bit of a nightmare. But we had all these slots like kind of ready to go. So what we're looking at now is getting a big roll call together where we can photograph as many people as possible here, and then basically we've got a huge pool of people, some of which will be invited to come and sit and have their heads modelled, but others will go into the archive and the collection to go into the exhibition and basically...
It's going to be a book
it's going to be a big thing then.
Yes, is, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully,
I mean, It's grown exponentially as opposed to what it kind of began as.
Done him justice.
I know, got a lot of flattering.
The man I would like to get here was one of our top paid men, coal face worker all his life.
What's his name?
Neil Pickerel. I don't think he'd come, but I would definitely try and ask him.
Neil
Pickerel.
Pickersgill. Pickerel.
Pickerell. He's a twin as well. They're Clive.
They call him the Legend.
The Legend, that's what he was known as.
That's his name. That's his nickname, the Legend. But Stuart Ord.
Where's he live?
Stuart Ord was in...
Neil lives in Castleford.
Castleford.
I'm not quite sure where Stuart lives.
John, can I question you about that Stuart Ord? I thought he was an official.
Yeah, he was a miner, isn't he?
I didn't think he was on the mining side. I thought he was a deputy.
I wouldn't think about the difference, would it?
He goes. Well, I didn't know, John, because there was a little bit of feeling about them.
I don't know.
But Stuart Ord, I'll see him myself at Durham.
Ord, O-R-D.
A-W-D-E.
A-W-D-E.
Stuart.
I'll see him in Durham along with Dobronsky.
Yeah. I'm in contact with him regularly.
I saw him in Durham last year.
Please do that, because we definitely need these names. Because if they're good, also good people, obviously.
And what are you saying? The Durham Gala is second week in July?
In July, yes. Last year we stopped at a college, Durham College.
Yeah.
They put us up there.
I want to try and get Soggy to go up this year with me. Come back like, because he'll not stop.
Yeah, I would like to see Soggy go up there.
Just thinking, Laurence, if we have some form of promotion or flyer before these guys go up there, we might be able to give them a few. But yeah, definitely, like, we want real people. You know, real people like that, and especially women as well, because the women were just as important in terms of communities and stuff like that. We don't want it just be totally men or.
My Doris, my wife, she worked in the canteen for donkey's years.
Julie?
Yeah, she worked in the canteen. Doris, she used to, on the morning, she used to get out of bed at 20 to 3 in the morning, because she had to be there at 3:30, 4:45 to prepare the dinners for the men coming in. and she never got in the house while 4 p.m.
Wow.
And she used to come in, sit in the settee, and start yawning. I used to say to her, "You can't be tired." So she only did 3 days, but 2:45 to 4:10 she used to come in.
These are the people that are important.
Yeah, we need to get Doris in.
What's the name?
Hey,
What's the name?
my wife,
Doris.
Doris Tempest.
Now, who would you want to be next to? Stan or Doris?
That's a tough one, though.
It's alright, you can answer that off record.
I'll be in the middle.
I'll take the decision away from you.
She nearly come this time, Doris, to see what it was all about. I wish I'd fessed it out.
So if you get, as regards the Kennelly contingent, getting enough, would they all be grouped as
Good, yeah.
as a colliery?
Yeah,
You know, these were the.
that would be good.
Yeah.
Do you think it would though, or do you think it's better that
Or
we're all
do you-
united as one and not?
Well, to be
Yeah.
honest, if only you'd know, because I don't think we'd say Kellenly, it'd just be a group of heads. But you would know.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to get on the Paula now and
What?
say, I think we should do your man, Paula.
Yeah. Good idea.
It would be better for coming from Paula than coming from me. Say, just say, I didn't know your man worked in the canteen, Paula.
If I say that to Paula, she'll go, "Oh, I know where this is going." I guarantee. If when she comes in, I'll say it to her. I go, "I didn't know your mum works in the canteen." She's like, "Oh, I know where this is going." I bet you. That'll be hers.
I think she'd go for it, Paula.
Paula's a good ceramicist, Laurence.
Yeah, is she?
Very good.
What timing have we got?
We've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, there was 3 of them used to be in the canteen together. They were like 3 sisters, Paula, Julie and Debbie. They're really, they're 3 of a kind.
Yeah, we've currently got a big big visual being printed, hopefully. That's going
Have
to
you?
place down there, yeah. That's where I've been, just sort of
For what?
portraits.
Oh, really?
So there's 9 portraits on this poster.
Oh.
But then I need to sort a bit of type out, but I need to speak to the council so we get a generic text. But I've put you, the 3 amigos in a row. Couldn't separate us.
Yep.
Sounds well.
I had to chop about 5 inches off Stan's head there. So
Yeah, as they fit in.
maybe it's rest of them got small heads, Stan.
Yeah. Yeah. You always think of the things you said when you worked at the colliery. The things you said, personal stuff and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't suppose you'd get away with anything like that in the factories now and the work. Because the younger version, the younger people now haven't got any personality, have they? They're all their own form of crack, whatever you like.
Yeah, I'm still old school.
So you fetch you some presents?
Pheasants?
Presents?
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
see them?
Yeah. I told them.
Fantastic.
Have we got any other words to add to the list of mining terminology that are just like words that only exist underground? Keep it
Well,
clean, so.
yeah. I'm just trying to think of. I think nicknames was one of the biggest things, John, wasn't it?
Go on.
We used to operate on nicknames, didn't we?
Yeah.
Communication was always done.
The Geordie word for a mate was Mara.
Mara. Well, that's a Rotherham term as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
And, you know, and
Mara. M-A-R-R.
Yeah.
M-A-R-R-A, sorry.
M-A-R-R-A, we
is,
Yeah.
that, is
Everybody-
that in the local dialect?
Yeah, Sheffield.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just show you.
Oh, right.
Well, I mean, in terms of the villages where that is associated, could be from Durham miners.
Yeah. We used to call everybody married, didn't we? Up there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Do you know, John, I've just thought on, I got a book, somebody fetched me a book. It's about a bloke who lived down south, he was a reporter, and he moved back up to the northeast. He talks about the local football and everything, and uses the dialect. And I picked it up at, well, this lad picked it up for me. You know, when you go to the hospital, they have them books on, you know, for charity thing. 50 pence it was.
Well, Paul is eldest son.
What do you know about football being in the North East, like?
Well, yeah, that's how it is. Well, John don't know much.
Are you a Geordie?
I'm from Durham, next to this town, yeah.
So you're a Mackham?
I'm a Mackham, he's a Geordie.
You're a Newcastle
Magpie.
But
I'm Sunderland, but I've changed since we were down, and I've decided to disown them.
So at my castle, they'll buy you next year.
So John's let me join their outfit, Newcastle.
Because
the families up there were all split, you know, even though they lived in the same house.
Well, that's like Sheffield, isn't it?
Yeah, Sheffield, yeah.
With blades and...
I took the football match at Newcastle once, and we went in this pub, you know, at Newcastle, everybody's black and white.
And I was undercover, like.
It was the only guy in the pub that didn't have a black and white scarf. And he said to me, he said, John, do us a favour, give us your scarf, not give me my scarf, because everybody's looking at him.
I felt so uncomfortable, you know. I thought these, and I was looking at her, I'm thinking, these know that I'm a Sunderland supporter. John never said anything. I was expecting any minute him saying he's a Mac of him. And I brought him here for the match. So I said, John, give us that scarf so I can just switch over, you know.
I just got back from Berlin, and the last time I was there, Man United were playing Bayern Munich in the Champions League.
Right.
It must have been like quarter-finals or something like that. And I've gone into this typical German bar because they're just amazing. I firmly believe if you're somewhere, you've got to embrace it. So I went to this bar, and Liz was saying to me, what are you going to do? I went, I'm just going to watch football, so I'm not going to speak. Not if they score, then I'm not going to cheer or anything. If Man U score, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to literally be neutral, right? So we walked in, I'm stood at the bar, ordering a couple of beers, and Danny Welbeck went and smacked it in 5 minutes. I get in! I was like, and then it got disallowed, and then everyone in the bar was just like, and I was like, oh,
Liz
went, nice and stylish, nice and calm. I was just like, oh no. But then it ended up being one of the best nights ever. Like, it was just brilliant. The banter, the crack we had with the locals was hilarious, and they were dishing it big time. But it was brilliant. We all sat there and had a couple more beers, and then that was it. Do you know what I mean? I just thought that's a beautiful thing about German culture.
Yeah.
Like, in England, you don't necessarily have the ability to do that. Like, could you imagine sat in a bar in Newcastle with Mackhams and Magpies together? It's just, and then go, nice one, lads, at the end of the night, and off you go.
Yeah.
There'd be no windows left.
Yeah, it's very much the thing up there. I always thought one of my ambitions was me and John travelling up to a Sunderland Newcastle derby match in a friendly manner and watching the game. But he said that will never happen. He says I wouldn't travel with you to a match.
My granddad took me to watch Man U Liverpool at Anfield, and I'm a Man U fan. He's a Liverpool fan.
That guy.
I was looking for where Stan is.
No.
Is it a waxwork?
No.
Is that real one?
The real guy. No, he is.
What? I don't know.
Shearer.
I thought it was. His head looks too big though.
Shearer.
That's why I covered the top of his head. I thought I recognised him in the air.
It was George's birthday 3 weeks ago. He was doing a talk at the Dome in Doncaster.
Yeah.
So I got some tickets and had a meal, and she knew nothing about it because she shared that. I said, come on, girl, a photo took with the celebrity. When she saw, she started crying, didn't she?
I wonder what happened to him, Laurence?
Shearer.
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer?
I never hear much of him now.
Yeah, Shearer.
Because you were going to take her when you were doing your head. You hadn't done it. You've done it now, have you? You've gone. And she was delighted.
Yeah.
Because when you were doing this, you were saying how you were planning to take her.
Yeah. Brilliant. Good, great night.
Was he entertaining?
Very good. Because there was a piece in the paper a week before we went about him. He was supposed to have thumbed Gary Lineker. And it was a big spread in the paper. So when I was getting my photograph took with him, I said, Alan, I've got a question to ask you. I said, did you chin Gary Lineker? He said, no, it was a publicity stunt. He says, but I want to chin him a lot of times, I can tell you. All right?
Was he nice?
Yeah.
Did you like him?
Ah, he was good.
He's a good man, actually.
Good night.
Thanks.
You can sense he's a nice guy.
You've got a few minutes, Laurence.
Keep your bottom lip open. It's a definite...
Sorry.
No, it's good. And when you're talking, it's not there.
So have you just got me today, Laurence?
Well,
Have you just got me today?
and I've got one more tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
Scared Liz now, Laurence. This is John.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I love how it's put on that little bit. It's gorgeous.
Like you're shifting the bus, isn't it? Just sitting down all day.
Do you know
What,
I was
John?
thinking?
Like you're shifting the bus on your back.
I know, it's weird,
It's
isn't it?
just like such an amazing thing.
What we're going to do when Liz was saying having Laurence in sculpting is like such a normal
You've had
thing
some
now.
comments on Facebook
Can you
already.
imagine
so-
when we no
There's
longer
been
have it?
comments.
You're never like
Yeah,
not on the
comments.
phone going, Danny, I'm on my way up.
Comments,
Is there anything I need to do? Oh no, Laurence, we're all set up. You're just like,
Dennis Edwards.
listen.
I bet it's one of our jobs, that.
Damn spell check.
No, I like it. I like
It's so
being
correct.
called lizard.
It does write some good stuff.
Yeah, yours is the best one. Your name, Danny.
Oh yeah, that's not good stuff.
I think
Cheers. A question for you, Laurence. You know the wood? Do you
Yeah.
burn that out?
no, there's a mould of that.
There's a mould of it.
Is that to show the council then?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought I'd better do one just to.
Just look at the
It's
beautiful.
Yeah, so Laurence was saying he thinks he's going to leave them as that colour. Rather than like make them green or black or tree. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Don't start him off like that. Do you want to text him? Just nice to have a bit of change, isn't it? Otherwise everything's the same. It's 3:05, Laurence.
We're done, are we?
Yeah.
Damn it. What do you reckon?
Like it.
Were you there?
Yeah,
I think you look a lot younger.
I think you're right, yeah.
It's the first one that's looked younger.
What do you reckon, Stan?
I'm just really impressed.
Got it?
They don't drop it.
At this point, you usually say I look just like my dad. It's the usual way it goes.
Yeah.
I think I need some white spirit on that one.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I was
right,
looking for
yeah.
white spirit. Yeah.
Let me sort. Look at this. I even know
What do you
what's
think,
going
John?
on there.
Good. Good.
Outstanding.
Is it a weird feeling?
Absolutely. That's absolutely marvellous, that, Laurence.
Because my uncle, when I was looking at it,
Even got your
it's really
pimple in.
strange to look at yourself.
Oh, right, right.
Little pimple there, look.
Yeah.
Finishing touch.
Yes, you've got me.
And the light here. You usually get a good light here.
Oh, right.
I bet you're pleased to stand up, are you?
I'll just get me back in position now.
Oh.
Where's yours, John? Has it gone to...
It's gone melted down again now.
But, yes. Well, now that you've got that,
Yeah, I got.
Laurence...
It was all warming up for this one, really.
Yeah.
Well, the real Stan Gilliland standing.
Yes,
Have we got your portrait? Did we get you guys last time you were in?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. We did a photo session.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember.
Can't stop.
Oh, my mum's going to get in touch with that geologist
Oh, brilliant.
for you. If you're interested.
Very much so. You'll be at an angle like that.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Woo!
Now?
Are you pleased with it, Laurence?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, very.
Do you think it's been a success?
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I like it because this one's at an angle. Here, you hold your head at an angle, so they'll get in this angle sorted out.
Right.
Something like that,
Right.
which is nice.
Oh, you mean,
For Facebook launch.
yeah, sorry, I don't know your name.
He said he'd be trying to nick them, John.
Your name.
Stanley.
Stanley, can I get a picture of
Put
you
that in.
holding your head?
Yeah.
Okay, so